Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm Mika Frankl, joined by Michael Andrews, joining us right now from the works in Hobbs. Sir, thank you for the time. It's
Yes,
fight
sir.
week.
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing?
Feeling great. Feeling real focused, man. We got a good team right now. It's kids class going down to my gym, so I try to come down, help out when I can, and get warm before men's class because I'm getting a little up there in age, so these muscles got to get warmed up before we get going.
Saturday night's fight night. You're in the main event. What does this week look like for you?
It's been looking pretty good. I took the week off from work. I'm doing real good on weight. I'm only a few pounds off. Cardio's, on point. Mine's on point. My coaches are there for me. So, so far it's looking good, man. It's feeling good as well.
The cards had some changes to it. How'd you
Yeah,
feel
my
when
boy.
you see you're the main event?
Well, Mario's my boy. We're both out of Hobbs, so I was upset to see him hurt. I never want to see anyone down or out of a fight. So it wasn't. I know it wasn't earned, but I'm gonna prove that I deserve to be up there. With them all. So it is. It is what it is. My boy's he'll be back. So it's all good.
How do you take advantage of this opportunity presented that everybody will be there to see you at the end of the night?
Take advantage by taking that W any way I can. Take TKO, KO. Like I had an interview, not an interview, a press conference the other day, and he said a man down. So I'm glad he's got the same idea. I'm not going away to leave it in the judges' hands. We're going out there to bang. We're gonna go make it a main event show. That's for sure.
I spoke with Ira earlier, and he understands fully. He's coming across that state line from Lubbock to Hobbs. He knows he's going into enemy territory. How does it feel to know and even have the opposition recognize you're going to have that crowd support, and it's a passionate fan base?
I like that I'm fighting Ira. He's a real confident fighter, very respectful. But I know that I don't take that lightly. I know that he's still coming to bang. He's still coming to fight real hard. So it's it's good to know that I'm in my hometown, but it's good to know also that it's not an easy fight for me. You know what I mean? It's going to be a challenge. And I always like challenges. I always step up to them. So it's a good thing, man.
Well, talk to me about that, about challenging yourself and liking to do so.
Man, it all comes from high school. I was, top running back. I played a lot of sports, and I got cancer when I was 16, so I had to fight back. I couldn't just lay down and let it get me. So ever since then, I've always just had an urge and just always a drive. When something challenged me, like cancers, so world events, I just push back. And I've always won. So it's a good feeling knowing that I have that in me to always push back and not lay down.
Obviously, then having always exude that fighter warrior mentality, I couldn't imagine at 16 getting some news like that.
Yeah, it was kind of rough, but I had a real good support system. Hometown, a lot of people showed love. My family were involved in the hospitals already, so we were able to get the best care. Years in time, I've been in remission, and that's almost 10 years ago, 13 years ago. So, it still resonates with me to always fight and always to push forward. So, I almost appreciate that circumstance. I know no one, that sounds kind of crazy, who would want cancer, but I would imagine if I wouldn't have had to push through that, I wouldn't have known what it's like to fight and grind through something that's tough. So, I definitely, appreciate God for get me through that and, putting that warrior mentality in my heart and my spirit.
Now let's touch on where you are. You said the works, Section 8 boxing. How long have you been a part of that family?
I've been here for about going on 13 years. I haven't left. I started karate a while ago, a few years prior to it, and I kept getting in trouble for hitting too hard. So I figured, man, this ain't for me if I'm hitting too hard. So I came down here, man, and it's been a family ever since. Ever since the first day, it just felt natural. I was just like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do with my life. I can do this.
What has it been about boxing, combat sports that's connected with you?
Man, I'm not gonna be. Everyone's had a rough life. Everyone's had, a tough way growing up. But I'm originally from New York, and I've always had to fight and grind to just survive out there, man. So it's instilled with me since I was a child, and it's almost a part of me. You know what I mean? I think God just bred me to not be someone who lays down and turns the other cheek. You know what I'm saying? I always push back, and you're always gonna. If you challenge me, it's gonna be a challenge.
So totally off topic. What part of New York are you from?
Buffalo, New York.
Oh, all
Yes,
right. I know
sir.
some people are from Buffalo. My mom and my dad
Okay.
were grew up Jackson Heights in Queens.
Okay, yeah, we're over there in Western New York. You know what I mean? A little bit on that border. And they like to say country, but I wasn't from the country part of Buffalo. You know what I mean? I was part of the city part. Actually, my boy is coming down from Buffalo to come do my walkout performance. My boy Jay Nash. We grew up. We used to run around together and fight and getting things. Not do the best decisions, but it made us who we are today. And I linked up with him, and I was like, man, I heard you're doing your thing in rapping. You need to come down, and you need to come down and walk me out, bro. I'm the main event. This is perfect. So we flew him. He's flying himself out, and we're gonna, he's gonna come show a real good performance and show what it's like up east. You know what I'm saying? I know we down south, all respect. You know what I mean? But at heart, I'm still up there, man. You know what I mean?
But that's real cool. That sounds like that's going to be a moment, something real special there for the hometown.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. They get to see a little bit of from the snow. You know what I mean? Down here, it's real warm all the time, and I love it. My bones love it. I absolutely love the sunshine down here. The people, man. But up there, it's cold, man. It makes you a little harder. It makes you just a little harder being cold 8-9 months out of the year.
I was going to ask you about that. You stole it from me. Talk about that toughness, because that Canada border right there. I've been up in the New York mountains, and I saw snow in September, and that's when I was coming back to New Mexico.
Yeah, I gotta forget that. I visit very rarely because of that, man. I love this heat. It's God sent. I get definitely God's country, as they say.
What was that like, though? Does it feel like it does add to the toughness, having to overcome those hard, long winters?
Yeah, yes, sir. Because like I said, my family, my dad's always been a fighter as well. He's always grinding through whatever situation he's been presented with, and sometimes we don't got heat. Sometimes we don't have those things to keep us warm in the winter. You know what I mean? So it just kind of makes you a little grittier. Like, man, I want to, you know what I mean? I wish I had a little, I wish I had this. I wish I had that. When I see people, warm and whatnot, but we push through that, and I feel like that's what New York definitely put that little bit of fighter in me. I definitely think that I've lived a lot of places, but that's where I've definitely got my grind on for sure.
Saturday night fighting Ira Herrera. Talked to him, and he's been around this game for about 22 years. You've had about 13, it sounds like. So both of you guys have had a lot of experience. What do you think from this main event fight? What are we going to see Saturday?
A lot of boxing. I know I'm going out to box. I'm not going to go out there and slug and make myself look foolish. I'm going to go out and show the skills that my coaches having to deal with me. They've worked with me over 13 years. I've polished my tools, and I'm ready to go bring my tools to work. You know what I mean? I'm just ready to go show out and put on a boxing match and put on a boxing lesson on me. No disrespect to Ira, but I'm gonna teach him some things about boxing. I know he's been around for 22 years. You know what I mean? But that's cool. I learned a lot. Out here, so I know I got a little skills for him. Like I said, I had a few fights that you can look up on YouTube, and you can try to identify me, on those things. But I'm not the same fighter. I'm not that same guy. So I wouldn't even watch those fights. I wouldn't even do that to yourself, because you're gonna be real surprised. Like, oh, there's a whole new guy in here. What the heck?
Now, you do have the advantage when it comes to professional bouts. You have a couple more. You're coming off of a positive result the last time you fought. What does that do for the mindset coming in off of a win?
I like to put that in the past. I put that in the past because I don't want to get too confident and feel like, oh, I'm winning, I'm doing good. Every fight is a new fight. It's always 0-0 on that fight. I always grind like I'm just starting, I got something to prove. So a lot of fighters will ride off of their wins and feel comfortable with that, and I won't feel comfortable. I don't like to be comfortable. So I won't sit there and be like, man, yeah, well, last time I got to train that hard. I got to train even harder, because I feel like I'm debuting again.
You fought in LA, you fought in El Paso. Okay. Is it different fighting in Hobbs where you live?
Gives you a little more fight, because when you go out of town, like, no one knows you. You walk out, you got people cussing at you, you got people going against you. But out here, you got people you see every day, you got people you run into every day, and you see them out there, and you want to put on for them. You don't want them to go, dang, that's, oh man, so, okay. You see them at Struggle. We're a small town, so I see these people every day. So I don't know how I'm gonna look at them in the face and be like, I didn't give it my all. So I want the one that when I see them, they say, hey man, that was a dang good fight. You put it on. So that's you know what I mean? It gives me a little more drive for sure fighting at home.
sure this is going to be a big answer, but a little bit. What do you love about this journey, about going through this boxing career?
Discipline. Discipline, man. If it wasn't for boxing, who knows where I would be? You know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy and be like, boxing saved my life, but boxing has kept me out of a lot of situations where I've been at the gym and things have happened where my homeboys or my situation, something's happened to them, and I'm like, dang, I could have just as well been there. But instead, I've dedicated myself to show up every time, show up on time, and just keep myself focused so I don't end up like that. Because as a young child, I made some mistakes. As a man, I've made some mistakes, and I refuse to. If you make the same mistake twice, that's on you. So I can't keep making the same mistakes and foolish mistakes. So it brought discipline to my life. It's brought me a lot of things, good things. It's brought me more good than bad. So I got to keep doing it. I've only got bad from the streets. So why keep doing that? That's just my mentality about it. But everybody's different. You know what I mean?
Feels like it's not just about fighting then. So there's a little bit extra coming from you. You also, sounds like, want to promote that message.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because there's a lot of kids that come to our gym, and I know they, some of them have good situations, some of them have different situations. And I want them to know, regardless of what you come from, this will build discipline. This will build good things in your life. When you're at your job and you're having someone, it's not even have someone, but you're just going through a tough situation at work and you can't figure it out. You can dig deep and go, okay, I know where to dig for that. I know where to go look for that. Instead of going, some people panic and they don't know what to do because they've never been in a situation. So it helps you, dig, and it helps you learn how to react in those situations.
It's a great message. It's been a great conversation. Michael Andrews, I thank you for the time, sir.
Yes, sir. One more thing, sir. The gentleman that I fought in El Paso, his name was Evan Torres. I believe he passed away from cancer a couple months ago. So I just want to rest in peace to Evan Torres. Hell of a fighter. He did his thing on me that night, but man, to his coaches, to his family, rest in peace and my condolences, man. And he was gonna be great. He was great. You know what I mean? So rest in peace to my dog.
Again, sir, thank you for the time.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all Friday night.